Okay, so this is 6.1. We're using our primary trig ratios. We're using that SOHCAHTOA. Remember that SOHCAHTOA helps us to remember what the ratios are. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan is opposite over adjacent. Okay, in these examples, what we're going to do is find an unknown side. In the last section, we were finding the unknown angle. Okay, so here for example 1, we have our triangle. And it says calculate the length of the unknown side in the triangle correct to 1 decimal place. So what we're looking for here is side A. So we don't know what side A is. We have to find out what that is. Now, the key to figuring out side A is to know which primary trig ratio we use. Do we use sine, do we use cos, or do we use tan? Figuring that out is figuring out which sides we have. So you can see it's a right angle triangle, and we do have the side that is opposite to the right angle triangle. So this means that we have the hypotenuse. That means we will not be using tan. Tan deals with the opposite and the adjacent. So we're either going to be using sine or we're going to be using cos. We're talking about the angle that we have here is angle 38. So a degree of, or 38 degrees. So we're looking for side A. Side A is right beside the 38 degrees. So this is the adjacent side to 38 degrees. So we have the hypotenuse and we have the adjacent side, so that means we're going to be using cos. Okay, so use cos. So we have cos of 38 degrees is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So we can plug that in, cos 38. The adjacent is the A, that's what we're looking for, and the hypotenuse is 10. Now, to find A, this is a bit of a cross multiplication type question. So A over 10 is a ratio. You can change cos 38 also to a ratio. It'll just be cos 38 over 1, and this is A over 10. We're going to cross multiply these two things. We're going to bring the 10 up over here, so it's going to be 10 times cos 38 is equal to A times 1, which is just A. From here, we just need to plug this into our calculator. So we can do 10 times cos 38, close your brackets, equals, and it gives us about 7.9 if we round. So that means 7.9 is equal to A. So side A is 7.9 centimeters because it's in centimeters. Okay. Okay, second example. So we want to find the unknown side. And for this unknown side, it's side C. We have to figure out which primary trig ratio we're going to use, sine, cos, or tan. And to figure that out, we need to know which sides we have. So this is a right angle triangle, so we know we can use the SOHCAHTOA. But we do not have the hypotenuse. We don't know what the hypotenuse is. If we look at our SOHCAHTOA, sine and cos both use hypotenuse. We don't have that information for example 2, so that means we're going to be using tan. Okay, so find side C, use tan. So tan has the opposite and the adjacent. So let's figure out which one's opposite and which one's adjacent. We have our angle here, it's 62 degrees. 5 is right beside, so that's going to be our adjacent, and C is opposite. Okay, so tan 62 degrees is equal to opposite, which is C, over adjacent, which is 5. Again, we're solving for c. We need to get 5 out of here, so really all you're doing is you're bringing it up and you're multiplying it to the other side. It's being divided on this side, so to bring it over to the other side you multiply, or you can cross multiply like we did in example 2. From here, it's just plugging it into your calculator. So 5 times tan of 62, close your brackets, and we get 9.4. So 9.4, our units are in millimeters. So side C is equal to 9.4. Okay, last example here. We're looking for side D. And we have to figure out which ratio we're going to use. So it's a right angle triangle. We are looking for side D, that's the hypotenuse. So knowing that we have the hypotenuse is in it, that means we're either going to be using the sine or the cos. From the angle that we're given here at 47 degrees, we have the opposite. So we have the opposite side and we have the hypotenuse. If you look at our SOHCAHTOA, sine is the one that has the opposite and the hypotenuse, so that is the one we're going to use. So use sine. Okay, so sine of 47 degrees is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. Sine 47 degrees. The opposite is that 8 centimeters. Our hypotenuse D is what we're looking for. Now, in this case, we want to find D. D's on the bottom. We need to bring it up to the top. So what you can do is cross multiply here. So you can cross multiply it up. So D times sine 47 is equal to 8. But D isn't all by itself yet, so we need to get rid of this sine 47. Sine 47 is being multiplied by D, so to bring it to the other side, we have to do the opposite, which is going to be divide. So D is equal to 8 divided by sine 47. From here, you can plug it into your calculator. So 8 divided by sine 47, and it gives us 10.9. So that's 10.9 centimeters, and we found side D.